Hello Marvel fans! Welcome back to my 6th day of Spider-Verse ornaments. Last time we made a Spider-Gwen ornament, and the next two most requested spiders are Superior Spider-Man and Black Costume Spider-Man. I picked Superior Spider-Man to make today since he has a more complicated design, but if you want to make one of these ornaments yourself, you can't go wrong with a clean design of the Black Costume Spidey. The instructions for making the ornament itself are in the first video of this series, the Peter Parker Spider-Man ornament, and a link to it will be in the video description and in the comments below. This video will focus on the painting details for Superior Spider-Man. Superior Spider-Man is often drawn with a bit darker shade of red than the bright red we're familiar with on Peter Parker. Even on the Marvel Legends figure, the red is more of a murky shade. I don't have any paint close to that shade of red, so I'm just going to make my own. I'm going to mix together Apple Barrel brand acrylic paint in bright red and Tapestry Wine. The full list of materials used in this project, including the paint colors, will be in the video's description. I'm going to apply 2 coats of my new murky red paint to the ornament. After the paint is dry, I'm going to start painting the eyes with black before moving on to the web lines. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Superior Spider-Man, he's actually a combination of Dr. Octopus's mind and Peter Parker's body. I'm not going to go into the details of how that happened, so to find out you'll either need to read the comics or just do a Google search. I enjoy it when comics give you a glimpse into the villain's mind, so you can see their point of view and what they're thinking. As for what Doc Ock is thinking while he's wearing his new Peter Parker suit, you may expect to see intricate, carefully laid out plans. And you do. But then you see that even Doc Ock can be distracted. I'm not sure if a class on comic books exists, but it should. You could totally make it work, and then bam, you're one step closer to fulfilling your literature and art requirements. Let's take Superior Spider-Man here as an example. Okay, class, why do many of the artists who draw Superior Spider-Man use a darker shade of red for his costume than many of the other Spider-Man costumes? Maybe it's to symbolize this Spider-Man's darker nature. And what about his web lines? Have you noticed that sometimes the web lines on Superior Spider-Man's costume are drawn evenly, but other times they're drawn with some lines close together and large gaps between other lines, like on his Marvel Legends figure's mask? Maybe that's supposed to convey that the spider within is unstable, or that there's at least something wrong with it. See, you can take a comic book and overanalyze every little detail, just like English teachers love to do with classic books. And while we're speaking about web lines, I'm going to go ahead and choose to do the uneven web lines on my Superior ornament, because I think that's a more interesting look. To thin the lines, I'm going to touch up the edges with my murky red paint. And then for the lenses in his eyes, I'm going to mix up some pure gold paint with my murky red mixture from before and add in a touch of black. Some of the most memorable moments for me in the Superior Spider-Man series occur immediately after Peter Parker gets his body back from Dr. Octopus. Doc Ock had previously abandoned Spider-Man 2099 to fight some robots by himself. Miguel wasn't happy about being ditched. Peter had to explain that it wasn't him. He was brain swapped with Doc Ock at the time. Then there's just this moment of silence while Miguel considers this. And knowing all the trouble that Peter stumbles into, Miguel declares, "That sounds just stupid enough to be right. Let's go." Then Peter swings off to confront the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin assumed Doc Ock's mind was still in Spider-Man's body, and he boasts about destroying everything Doc Ock achieved, and he'll have nothing left. Peter then replies that he'll still have the dignity of never carrying a man purse. The look on Green Goblin's face is priceless as he immediately realizes that the real Spider-Man's back. And as for Green Goblin, well, he pretty much declared, yeah, I'm not going to deal with this today. Toodles! Now my ornament has had time to dry, so I'm going to apply a layer of Mod Podge to protect all of the paint. I think part of the coolest part of Superior Spider-Man's design was when he had those mechanical arms on his back. I'm going to try to make those for this ornament by measuring and cutting 2 10cm long pieces of dark red beading wire. I got this wire from Hobby Lobby from their jewelry making aisle. I twist the 2 wires together and stick them on the back of the ornament with hot glue. Then I take my pliers and just kind of bend the wires to look like the arms are coming forward. This looks alright, but I think it would have looked a little better with some thicker wire. I used 26 gauge wire here, so you may want to look for a lower gauge number, which would be a thicker wire if you try this. And here is the completed ornament. So, what else will we be making later this week? Here's a sneak peek. And that's it for today, but feel free to check out the other videos on my channel. And if you'd like to stay updated, you can always subscribe so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching.